Okay.
We're
So
live
I
in three, two, one.
What's
So
that?
we're on.
Yeah.
So glad we get to record, dude.
Yeah, it's been a learning experience, that's for sure. It's been crazy. But I think we're ready. I think
I
it's
think so too.
time.
I think and just real quick to just kind of I don't know, throw it out there, I guess, because this is only our second episode, so we haven't really like done much transitioning, since we've only recorded once, like when we talk to our audience, when we talk to ourselves or whatever. But I think it's important for the audience to understand that, or just to be aware of how hard and how much time we've been trying to dedicate to this and how much, unfortunately, we haven't been able to. Like, I mean, we even have had some heated arguments on it and have gone back and forth on it, but it's been damn nearly impossible. And I think what we've learned is if life happens and if it can't go down, it can't go down, and move on. Don't stay stuck, don't be mad at anyone, just move forward. It's my learning experience from what we've been dealing with lately.
Yeah, it's your takeaway. And I feel the same way. It's definitely challenged us as individuals, like really seeing what's important to us and what's not. And it's easy to push aside, it was easy to kind of push this aside, even though it was something, and it is something that is really important to us. Um, and then it it challenged us also in like our friendship. And I don't know, like it's I like what you said, and I think you should share it, how you were saying how what Miss Reba taught you.
Oh yeah, from the Reba show. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I watched this show, Reba. And I think she's telling her daughter, because her daughter gets pregnant really young and marries her boyfriend or whatever. She's like in high school still. And her daughter starts having doubts on her marriage or whatever. She's like 16. And she asked her, she's like, "You think it's going to work out?" And Reba tells her, it's only going to work out if you understand how hard it's going to be. And I've taken that with me everywhere. I've taken that in my own relationship that I have now. I've taken that, with school, with work, with, even when you get on traffic and it's rush hour, like I know what traffic it's going to look like. So just get over it now, get in the car and do what you got to do and just be careful. That's all we can do. We can't really stress out. And it's always very important to, before you do something, and it's not for me to say like, oh, sit there and think of all the wrong things. But yeah, it's important to think of all the things that could possibly go wrong. That way it can benefit you in the end. And you're like, okay, I kind of knew this was going to happen. So you're prepared for it and you can um, approach that differently with a different attitude, a different mentality, and it's not going to hit you like a out of left field, like you got it, and you go. And that's basically what we're trying to do right now. And yeah, so that's my advice to everyone, and because
Yeah,
that
no,
works for me every time.
yeah, and I love that. And that's been the takeaway for sure.
Let's go ahead and dive into the topics we've been wanting to discuss and
But we're
record.
ready. We love each other. We're ready to do this. It's been intense, but we're ready, right?
Yeah, we're ready. So there's some topics that we've been wanting to discuss and record. So yeah, I know PMSing was one of them. That's something that you've kind of been dealing with lately. So catch me up, girl.
Okay, so I just want to say F you to PMS. Um,
For real.
yeah, it's a struggle. Obviously, half of the population struggles with this, and yet it's almost this topic that like we just don't know that much about. I feel like there's a lot of stuff I don't know about, and I don't understand why, And It's just all around an embarrassing for some reason kind of topic too. Like, but overall, it's been difficult. It's been challenging for me. I'm ending the like massive wave that I went under. Um, yeah, like I don't even know what to say about it. It's been a rough cycle, menstrual cycle, and PMS for me, the premenstrual syndrome is it seems to get it seems to have gotten more intense as I get older. I think too in general, like as I get older, life gets more intense and I have more responsibilities and I feel overwhelmed and I'm pretty good at managing it. I have you to talk to. I have, you know, I have good things and I have them in place to help me live a good day-to-day life, but for some reason that stuff goes right out the window when I'm on my period and I feel really depressed. I feel really anxious. I feel unhappy. I feel like I feel ridiculously tired. Like, what's the point of like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's intense. And I definitely I want to get a hold of it and I want to have a plan set in motion so that I can have a smoother ride. I know it's going to be a ride. It's going to take me for a good ride, but I want to be able to ride it out and have it go smoothly. So I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but yeah, it's been intense and it's been hard. It's been really, really hard for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's different for everybody. And it's something all of us as females deal with. And like you were mentioning earlier, it's a topic we don't really tend to have, but it is a topic and it is good to talk about it. So, my PMSing is a little rough. Oh, sorry, my dog is trying to be part of the podcast.
Beyonce. Hey, does Beyonce get her period?
No, she's fixed. But she used
Oh,
to get it. She used to get it.
yeah.
She's fixed
Okay.
now. But yeah, I get a little emotional. I get a little like crybaby, like little things make me want to cry. I mean, I'm already emotional and a crybaby, but when I'm in my period, it's like, damn. But
You're not a crybaby, you're a human being, and that's good.
yeah, I guess, right? Yeah, I mean, I just get on the emotional side sometimes for like no reason. Not every time, but it happens. And I mean, it's just the way I kind of deal with my situation. I just let myself do whatever the heck I want for those days. Like I'll
Yeah,
eat
you
what
have.
I want, I'll sleep as much as I want, I'll be lazy if I want, like and but that's like my gap. Once it's over, it's back to business. And that's just how I deal with it. But it would be nice, and I know you're probably going to dive into some research and stuff. And I mean, it would be nice to learn how to deal with it because we all don't have the luxury of just sit around and do whatever the hell we want. Like, there's times when we have to go to work and be there for 8 hours in a classroom. So it would be nice to know how to tackle the PMS monster on those kind of days, you know?
Yeah, I love that you're saying that because I'd like to be home when I feel that, but at the same time, it's not even a good idea for me to be home because then I'm just shit, like literal shit. And being out does make me feel better and it keeps me focused on not feeling so down. And um, yeah, overall, I definitely need to do some research on it. I definitely need to figure it out because it's gotten intense and um, I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. I understand that it's going to be something that I just need to deal with. Just similar to like anxiety, I experience anxiety and there's certain things though that can reduce my anxiety. And I know therefore like there's women that go through this and I'm sure I know that people have figured some things out. I know you and I are both anemic and So I'm going to try to have I'm going to take some iron before my period or when I'm PMSing, because my PMSing starts like 2 weeks before I actually get my period. So I feel more relieved when I get my period because I'm like, finally, like it's about to be over. Like, so I want to find out as much as I can to make the ride smoother. And so one of the first things I'm going to do is make sure that I have some iron before. And do you take any iron?
I don't. I don't. So let me know how that goes so I can try it out. One thing I read about iron though, yeah, we do lose it during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading that it can give your girl down there a little metally smell. It's because of the iron.
So wait, because we lose iron, it gives our vagina a smell?
A metal smell, like an iron smell.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I got that from an app that I use that I know I got you into it. I know you mentioned you're not very consistent with it, but you should. It's really good, and that's where I got it from. Because you can enter everything on there, dude. You can enter that you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling sleepy, back pain, tender breast, anything, you enter it on there. And that was one of my enters one time, and it, the thing was that we lose iron. And it was funny because I went to the gynecologist and I was like, hey, like I don't think this is right, did a test, I'm good, like I didn't have any sort of infection, nothing like that. So it was like the whole iron situation because we lose iron. So you talking about taking iron makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if we're losing it, and then you and I feel so ridiculously tired. And it's not like I can just, I think it's just because I have responsibilities and things that are going on, I more so need to like figure out a plan because it's not like I can just be like, imagine if you're the president of the United States and you're a girl and just be like, oh, sorry, I'm close.
My period can rule the nation today.
Yeah, like bitch will make me, yeah, like I don't get me mad or don't get me started because like God. Yeah, so I don't want it to be something that enables me, like,
Yeah,
oh
no,
well.
for sure. So when you get down to that research, make sure you post the podcast up on it because it's important for all of us to know that shit on days that we need it.
Yeah, so we'll move on, but just to close up, I just want to say that it's been difficult. But I'm hopeful, and I think because I need to help myself out, I will relay and my plans and what I've done to you listeners and to you, Patty, and just hopefully come up with a game plan and that it's helpful to you guys and definitely going to be helpful to me. So, moving on to my yeah, like I kind of wanted to see how are you doing with like your budget, or I know we kind of wanted to talk about like where are we failing? Where are we going wrong?
Yes, let's talk failures because we're not perfect, right? So,
Well, we're not savers, so something on. So I think we should go back and forth. Like you say one failure, I'll say one failure, and kind of just go accordingly. What do you think? Oh,
what?
did you want to do that, or did we want to?
Yeah, let's talk budgeting. Let's keep it going. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So,
I do. Yeah, and I love that you mentioned failures because I can't give you any tips on financing really or budgeting or whatever. So let's just talk failures and let's just let it out. I guess let's go back and forth. So my first one would be saving.
wait, time out.
What's up?
Don't lose
Okay.
your that. But just because it was good that you said that we don't want to give we can't give tips because we're not where we want to be.
Yeah.
So that's why we're acknowledging the problem, and then from there, our hope is to check in a few months with each other and our listeners, and be able to kind of say like, "Yo, this worked, this helped." So
Yes.
that's why we're just going over our failures, so then we're aware of it. So boom, go.
Preach, preach, preach. Okay, so my number one would be saving. I've had trouble saving. I'll even put the numbers out there for you guys. My budget, my money coming in and everything should have allowed me to save $10,000 in 1 year. Did
That's
I do that? No, I didn't. And I have not done it for the past 2 years. And it just, the end of the year comes around, the money's not in my bank account, and I'm like, damn, here comes another year. And then the sad thing about that is, you sit at the end of the year and you're like, oh my gosh, this year just went by so fast. Well, yeah, no shit, the year went by fast, but where's all the money? Like, that's how fast you should have been saving your money, and you didn't. So, and it just sucks. So, that one's mine. 2 years ago, I was aware of that I was able to save that much a year, and I haven't for the past 2 years. So, here we go again, third round. Let's see if I do it this year. I'm probably not going to set my goal that high, maybe a few thousands under, but I just want to be able to save something this time around. So, what's one of yours?
So maybe you've been failing on putting it too high, like maybe you think that that's what you were able to do, but maybe you're not. So I like that you're like, so yeah, maybe that's where you've been going wrong.
Yes.
But that's $800 a month that you have to save in order to save. Well, it's $833 a month to be able to save $10,000 a year. So that's a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
But that's good. Okay, anyway.
Where is that money is my question. God damn it.
Okay, so I should have said this first, but I just wanted to define what a budget is. And it is a tool that helps you track the finances, like your finances. It's a detailed plan of the income and your expenses. So going on that, I think I wanted to tell you. So you were saying, right? Where is it going? And there's a quote, and it says, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So
Beautiful.
I also need to I need to come up with a budget. I'm currently in transition. I started a new job, and I have some other employment that is going to happen. So I've estimated how much money I'm going to make, but because they're not set in stone yet, two of them, I can't really say like, but I know my monthly expenses. And so anyway, sorry. That's why a budget is so important. And that's definitely where I've been going wrong. One of the failures is that I just don't even have a budget. I have no idea where my money is going. I get my paycheck, and I will think like most of us, like, oh, I have money, like I'm cool, I can do the little extra things. And then by the time bills come around, I'm like, oh crap, like, and then the stress starts to set in, and then I'm reacting to a situation that could have very easily just been me proactive. So yes. I definitely don't prioritize. I have not prioritized. This is all hopefully like not going to happen anymore, but I didn't prioritize, and I would get my paycheck and spend on things that I didn't actually need. And then the bills pile up, and then you end up in just a big mess. So that's one of mine, not prioritizing right.
So now that you're mentioning you switching your job and everything like that, I think I mentioned to you I'm no longer working at Gold's Gym, right?
Yeah, you free.
Woo! Woo! Well, it's a little scary because working for a company or working for somebody, you have your set paycheck, right?
Yeah.
And you know when you're going to get it, you know an amount. you get you pay for your insurance off your check, you're set, you're good. You get your check, you can do whatever you want with it. Um, I no longer work with Golds. I no longer get a check. I no longer have health insurance. So that's something that it has hit me like a freaking train, dude. So I really have to, just like you said, you want to work on some things and maybe share them later on things that have worked for you. Like I kind of want to do the same because, oh, which also brings me to my next point. It's income tax season, right? Everybody's getting their income tax. So, I mean, I'm nobody to tell you what to do with your money, but whoever did get a check back, guys, spend it wisely because don't go mess it up. I've done that before. The first year I was like, "Ooh, this is how much money you get when you have a kid? Damn, like awesome, And then you're like, "Oh shit. Where did my money go? So fast." What I did the second year with money that I had, that I received from having a child, I went ahead and invested in my own company. I went ahead, bought lawn mowing equipment, got that started up. So point is, I no longer work for Golds. I'll be running my own company. So budgeting is no longer a choice for me. Like I'm gonna have to budget. I'm gonna have to budget my own company that I own. I'm gonna have to give myself a paycheck. I'm gonna have to pay for my own insurance. So yeah, I'm really gonna dive into the budgeting situation with no choice because if I allow it to fail, my company fails. The money I invested into my company fails. So yeah, that's where I'm at with budgeting. So it's not gonna. I still need to work on my savings, my failure, right? And now I need to work on budgeting because now I'm running the show, and it's time for me to tighten the knot a little bit on that because I just don't want to. I don't want my company to fail because of me.
Yeah, the best way to stick to your budget is to start one. So that's another quote. And we want to stick to a budget that we haven't even like set, right? Or we don't even understand what it is. And it's here in our habits. So another one of my failures was I would go to the store and I would have, because I have a lot going on in the day, different like places, different responsibilities. I like to save the shopping for the weekend when I don't have necessarily like anywhere to go. It's much more flexible. But I found myself like a dumbass, like I'm some free girl, like I'm some rich girl that can just be like, oh, with the butler in there, like, oh, I need this, going down every single aisle, like, oh, I think I might need this, I might need that. And so I would be in a store for like a long time, dude. And I would end up leaving with a bunch of shit I did not need. And I would look at, the girl would tell me what I owed, and I looked at her like she was crazy. And I'm like, what the hell did I get? And so definitely not going on like a timely, or like even maybe I should just like set an alarm, and just be like, you're only allowed in here for this long and get in and get out, you know?
Yeah, or always do a grocery list. I don't always do one. I'm trying to work on something like that. I'll see later on if it works for me. I'll give you maybe some tips on what I'm doing. If I fail, we won't talk about this again. I'm just playing.
But a failure of yours was basically, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but a failure of yours was to not have so I'm saying mine is the time, because I just like, when I go in there on free time, I'm just like there forever. But you're saying like one of your failures is that you don't have a list?
Yes. So I've been trying to work on one. I think it's working. I don't know yet. It's only been I don't know, a couple times. So I'll find out later once I review my finances and all of that if it has been working for me or not. I don't know. But
Cool.
Yeah, and a lot of so funny. I was having dinner with my girlfriends the other night and we were talking money, and we all kind of agreed to the fact that most of our money goes to eating out. Would that be relatable to you?
Oh, AMG, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody can, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, we gotta be careful with that, man. I mean, it's just money going to all this food is just it's crazy. It's not okay.
It's irresponsible. Like, I've been
Yes,
so irresponsible.
that's the word. So I want to work on that. And then too, I need to work on that because if I stop anywhere, from Chick-fil-A to Panda to whatever, it's not just for me. I have a 3-year-old and I can no longer share my meal with him. He has a meal of his own now. So it's hitting my pocket and it's hitting it really hard. So that's another thing that I need to work on eating, snacking, doing the most I can at home to save that money, make a difference in my pocket.
So you can have the 10G at the end.
No shit, dude. Oh,
I think going on that has to be like the number one. I genuinely think it's the number one reason why people don't save money is because they eat out. And it's the commercially prepared meal costs on average like about $13 on average, depending I guess where you live, but like let's just say on average.
yeah.
And a home prepared meal is about like $4 and maybe even less than that, but that's just on average, depending like if you eat organic or not, right? Like it's just $4. But yeah, I mean,
Wait,
that's
wait, stop right there at the $4. Alexander's calling me. Hold on.
mhm. I think she left me, but I think she left me still recording. So I get you guys to myself. Um, I just want to say that we can do this. We can totally do this. We can totally change our ways. But yeah, like I love that quote. Like the best way to stick to your budget is to freaking have one, right? So it's sad how much damage we do just because we don't implement like a budget in our day to day. That's crazy. Like we are in control of this and we are causing ourselves to stress out and get sick. And it's definitely not okay. But the great news is that we totally can change it. So I'm hopeful that you guys can relate to a lot of these failures and kind of just realize that, oh, okay, it's a pretty common thing. Patty, you back?
I'm back. Yeah,
Hey.
sorry, my little one wanted to
Eat.
no, he's been sick. That's a whole different conversation. Um, yeah, he just wanted something on his. But yeah, I mean, no, I mean, yeah, like you were saying, I hope our listeners can take something from this conversation, and I hope that us talking about it and sharing it can hold us accountable for putting a little more emphasis on that aspect of our lives because we have to, dude. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be tough. And financial freedom is very important for every single one of us. And that, financial freedom doesn't mean 5 vacations a year or buying the most expensive purse or wearing, jewelry. Just financially being able to be free and, hey, you want to go out and eat, like not having to check your bank account, yeah, let me go out and eat. Like just simple things when, you get the email that your payment is due for whatever bill, like you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. You know, let me take care of it. Let me put my debit card on automatic pay because I know it's not going to get declined. And I know it's going to, like just financial freedom. I think it's important. The sooner we start, the younger age we begin at, the more free we're going to be when we get older, and when we actually don't need to be, our bodies are not going to be in the position to be stressing and working as hard as we can now that we're young, you know?
Yeah, the financial freedom means that you get to make the day-to-day like life decisions without being overly stressed like a crazy person
Yeah.
about your financial impact because you're prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of people are like, oh, okay, how much gas should I put? I have those days. I'm like, oh, should I put 20 or should I put 10? Like, okay, no, I'll put 10, or no, I can put 20. Like, not having to, that right there is a little stress. Even if it doesn't ruin our day, like that's still a little stress on you. So, you know, fixing those things, financially being right, will take that little stress off of your back, and that's going to make your day and your life just that much smoother as we progress in time, you know. So I think it's important for all of us to focus on that now, start now.
Yeah, for sure. Because, you know, I was one of my failure or a lot of these failures have caused me to go into debt over and over again. I get myself out, but I get back in. And there is this idea in people's heads, in my head, that, well, if I win the lottery or if I make this much money, like I would be fine. But the truth is, I have more than enough money to live a comfortable life and be fed, which means just to be fed, have a roof over my head, um, have gas, have money to, you know, do what I
Yeah,
need to,
just
what
the
I need.
things that we need, like just what keeps a person going, you know. And if you can get yourself a vacation, woohoo, you know, take it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means being right where you're at right now with your pocket, because it can be so damn stressful. And before I forget, I wanted to tell you, um, when you mentioned your debt the first episode, and a listener of ours said she could really relate to it, and she was really happy that you brought that up on the first podcast.
Hmm.
And that's what like attached her as a listener to us. So yeah, I think I thought it was so cool when she mentioned that, because I was like, dang, like people do relate. This is, you know, this is why we're doing it, you know?
Yeah, it can kind of give us some like, you're not crazy girls, just recording your phone call. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, debt is something that robs people of sleep, of their
Mhm.
health, and yeah, like every year I make more money. I get, I mean, I don't change my jobs like crazy, but I've been able to really step up the ladder and change and make more money. Yet I'm still just as irresponsible with money and just lost. And when I read that quote, like the best way to stick to your budget is to have one, I was just like, wow. And treating myself like I'm a business, like I've been failing as a business miserably. uh,
Yeah.
and if I want to be successful in anything, but I'm not successful in my own life, and you know, I've mentioned to you that I want to be emotionally healthy, I want to be emotionally fit, I want to be physically, mentally, and financially fit and healthy. And you know, if I may have one of those, but the day that I have all of those healthy, they might not be perfect or exactly where I want them to be. Like I'm always going to have goals and my personal goals, but the day that I really, that's my goal right now this year, is to get all of those healthy, because I'm unhealthy. And maybe I have, like I said, one that's doing good, but that doesn't do shit for me because the other ones are bad. And you know, do you have anything that you want to say, or can I say one of I think I read it to you, the quote that really like hit us.
Yeah, but before you go to that quote, I want to piggyback off that track. Being like just being there, you know, like we're not there, but this year you're trying to work on it or whatever, or this month or whatever, however your pocket works. If you get on the weekly basis, bi-weekly, whatever is helping your pocket grow and get fatter, right? And like you said, getting all of those things on track, all of them, just get on the track for now. And because the sooner you get on track, the sooner you can like get, you know, start the engine and get going. You know, for right now, let's just all try to get on track with that, because it's just the happier we're gonna be at the end. Like we're all gonna be, everything's in line, everything's gonna be good and running, you know. But yeah, that one quote, you read it to me one time and I loved it.
So I guess really quick, piggybacking off of what you're saying is, God damn it, I forgot. Anyway, I don't know if I said like that. That's really dope that your friend like even mentioned that. So that's super cool. And you know, I just want to say hi to whoever that is.
Yeah.
Because I think I kind of just like, anyway, shit, I wonder what you said. Anyway, I had something good, but the quote is, it isn't what you earn, but how you spend it that fixes your class. Don't tell me what you value. Show me your budget, and I'll tell you what you value.
Whew, hit me just as hard as the first time.
Actually, there's like a little ending to it, and it kind of like wraps it all up. But we must consult our means rather than our wishes. And instant gratification or delayed gratification, if I'm saying that right, do you know what that is? Delayed gratification?
No.
You don't? Okay. So I just learned about this, by the way. Delayed gratification is when you say no to the quick gratification because you know that you waiting, you're gonna have a bigger, longer lasting gratification.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is huge because I was listening to a podcast and I was listening to it and I was just like, dude, I don't know. I don't even know like what that means in my life. Like that I'm always just quick to satisfy my needs and wants right then and there. But in the long run, I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm not happy in general. Like, so okay, this is the better definition. Delayed gratification refers to the ability to put off something mildly fun or pleasurable now in order to gain something that is more fun, pleasurable, or rewarding later. So an example, if you could watch TV the night before an exam, or you could practice delayed gratification and study for the exam. Sorry, and then it cuts off. You can study for the exam. The latter would increase your chances of getting an A in the course at the end of the semester, which means more satisfying long term than a night of watching TV. So sorry if that was like long, but yeah, I was just like, wow.
No, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, no, I agree. It's very important.
It's real.
It's real. It's been real. So many things have been real lately, but I'm glad that we finally got to talk. And
well, wait, let's just wrap up the budgeting. Or I guess we're done with that, but yeah, just think twice about, girl, like I'm thinking twice about the things I do. I'm really like, I've dug myself in a hole, and I heard someone say like, I need to throw the shovel in now. Like I'm gonna shut up or I'm gonna stop doing this because I need to start getting myself out. Yeah. Is that what it is, or I could be saying
I've never heard it.
No, I'm definitely messing it up, but yeah, we will. Well, our hopes are to definitely check in a few months with regarding our with our success stories, because I'm not going to talk about our failures again in 4 months.
Yeah, let's not have this conversation again. And to listeners, we don't want y'all to listen to this again, obviously, because that, we don't want to fail, but you don't want to hear this again. Like, you as yourself, like, you get to it too. Like, let's all do it together.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go get my budget together.
Me too. All right. I love you, dude. I'm so glad we got to talk.
Same, like always. It's amazing. Love you. Bye.
Bye. God bless.